How do you think a team of only former OU players would fare at the NFL level? Well, today we are going to find that out. We have taken over the Seattle Seahawks. Why not? We already stole your basketball team. Let's just take your football team too. We have an 89 overall offense and a 68 overall defense. Let's start in our quarterback room. Starting, we have Kyler Murray, who is an 84 overall. He is backed up by Baker Mayfield. Granted, I do think Baker was the better college quarterback, but Kyler has the better rating, so he will be our starter. The running back room is actually pretty deep. We have Joe Mixon, Damian Williams, Samaje Perine, Adrian Peterson, Rodney Anderson, and Kennedy Brooks. And then at fullback, we have Ramondre Stevenson. The wide receiver room might be the strongest part of this team. CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, Sterling Shepard, Dede Westbrook, Kenny Stills. I can't cut Cody Thompson because he is injured. Then we have Jeff Badette and Michael Woods. But we also at tight end have Mark Andrews, Blake Bell, Carson Meyer, and James Winchester, a 31 overall tight end. Left tackle, we have Trent Williams and Orlando Brown. At left guard, we have Ben Powers and Marquise Hayes. At center, we have Creed Humphrey and Drew Samia, who I have moved over from guard. At right guard, we have Darrell Williams, Cody Ford, and Bobby Evans. And then at right tackle, we have Lane Johnson and Adrian Ely. Now let's get to the awful defensive side of the ball. Starting at defensive end, we have Ogbonnia Okoronkwo, or Obo for short, backed up by Isaiah Thomas. At right end, we have Neville Gallimore, who is usually a defensive tackle, but I had to move him over. So at defensive tackle, we have Jordan Phillips, Gerald McCoy, and Perion Winfrey. Outside linebacker is going to be Jordan Evans, a 67 overall, backed up by Ronnie Perkins. And then at middle linebacker, we have Kenneth Murray and Brian Asamoah. At right outside linebacker, we have Nick Bonito and Curtis Bolton. At defensive back, we have Trey Brown, Buki Radley-Hiles. I kind of bent the rules a little bit to add him because I couldn't get any corners, and I moved Jalen Hurts over to corner just because he was my third string quarterback, and I needed another corner on the team. At free safety, we have Steven Parker, backed up by Trey Norwood, and at strong safety, we have Tony Jefferson, backed up by Delarian Turner-Yell. And then at kicker, we have Austin Seibert, and punter, we have Tress Way. I just now remember to turn off injuries because we are so weak at every position. And hopefully it lets us simulate the first week, but I saw Brian Asamoah was injured. But we're going to simulate game by game and see how well this team does. And in week 1, we lose 31-23. Honestly, a bit closer than I thought it was going to be. Let's take a look at some stats. How did we play? Kyler Murray threw for 285 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Joe Mixon ran in for a touchdown. Receiving, Marquise Brown had 11 catches for 115 yards. Alright, so we start 0-1. I'm assuming there's a pretty good chance we could go 0-16 with how bad the secondary is alone. And never mind, we pick up a win in week 2 over the 49ers, 35-27. What the hell happened here? Kyler Murray throws for 282 and 2 touchdowns. On the ground, Joe Mixon ran for 144 yards and 2 scores. Samaje Perine also got a touchdown. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 120 yards and a score, and Marquise Brown got one as well. Alright, well, we got a win, and we are actually at the top of the division right now, but let's see how long we stay there. How is this team winning games? We moved to 2-1 by beating Atlanta 41-28. What happened in this game? Kyler Murray threw for 1 touchdown, and on the ground, Joe Mixon 162 yards and 2 scores. Samaje Perine ran in for 1, and Ramondre Stevenson ran in for 1. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb had 8 catches for 136 yards, and Sterling Shepard got his first touchdown of the season. Mariota did throw 3 touchdowns against the secondary, but obviously not enough to win. Well, we are now 2-1. Can we improve to 3-1? No, we cannot. It looks like our defense finally caught up to us after 2 games. Jared Goff threw 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. Kyler Murray threw another 2. What about running the ball? Joe Mixon, 74 carries for 2 touchdowns, and receiving, Amon-Ra St. Brown had one hell of a day, 7 for 148 and 2 scores. Mark Andrews, 9 for 108. CD caught a touchdown. Hollywood caught a touchdown. Jameson Williams caught one, and TJ Chark. And before we simulate this game, down there at the bottom of the screen, you can see our offensive rankings. Right now, we are the number 2 offense in points per game, but the number 27 defense. And we lost our second straight game to the same score, 41-38. This one did go into overtime, though. And let's see what happened. Kyler Murray, 1 touchdown to 1 interception. Jameis Winston threw 2 picks against our secondary? Really? On the ground, Kamara ran for 2 touchdowns. Mixon ran for 1 and 74 yards. And receiving, Marquise Brown, 14 for 164 and a touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 6 for 123, but Michael Thomas, 8 for 120. Well, our offense is putting up points, and now we've lost our second straight game in overtime, this one to Arizona. And let's see, it looks like Drew Lock is now their quarterback. 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. Kyler Murray, 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Running the ball, Mixon ran for 86 yards and a score. And receiving, DeAndre Hopkins, 7 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews caught a touchdown. But yeah, our secondary is getting absolutely torched by these receivers. All right, can we stop this losing streak against the Chargers? Yes, we can. We win this one 38-20. Let's check out some stats. Herbert throws for 3 touchdowns, but Kyler Murray threw for 4 and 1 interception. Running the ball, Mixon ran for 69 yards and a touchdown. What about receiving? Sterling Shepard, 7 for 139 and 3 touchdowns. Marquise Brown, 7 for 108. And it looks like Palmer caught a touchdown for them, and Mike Williams got 2. And in week 8, we win an absolute shootout with the Giants, 59-56. These stats are going to be insane. Kyler Murray with 5 touchdowns. Tyrod Taylor with 6 passing touchdowns against our secondary. On the ground, Mixon ran for 132 yards and 2 scores. Saquon Barkley got 1. Tyrod Taylor ran in for 1. Receiving, Slayton caught 9 passes for 154 yards and 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb got 2. Golladay even got 1. Marquise Brown got 2. Mixon got 1. And Kadarius Toney got 1. But we are now 4-4, and we are the number 1 offense in points per game, but the number 31 defense. Somehow that doesn't surprise me. But this time we take down the Arizona Cardinals 28-20. Let's look at these stats. Kyler Murray with 4 passing touchdowns. Drew Lock had 2. They both threw a pick. Running the ball, no one ran in for a touchdown, it looks like. And receiving, AJ Green, 10 for 130. Mark Andrews caught 4 touchdowns. All 4 of Kyler Murray's passing touchdowns went to our tight end. Well, now let's see if we can keep this win streak going and get by Tampa Bay to head into the bye week at 6-4. And we lose in week 10 by 1 point, 22-23 to the Buccaneers. Let's see what happened. Kyler Murray threw 2 touchdowns. Tom Brady only threw 2 against our secondary? Really? Running the ball, Mixon had a touchdown and Leonard Fournette. Receiving, no one went over 100 yards, which I'm kind of surprised. So we come out of our bye week at 5-5, getting ready to take on the Raiders. And right now we are 3rd in the division, and we have the number 1 offense in points per game and the number 30 defense. But we managed to improve to 6-5 as we take down the Raiders 38-35. And let's see how we played. Derek Carr threw 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray 2 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Running, Joe Mixon ran for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs ran in for a touchdown. And receiving, Hollywood Brown 9 for 119. Renfro got a touchdown. Andrews got 1. CeeDee Lamb got 1. And Devontae Adams got 1. And in week 13, we take on the Rams. And whoever wins this game, I believe, is going to be at the top of the division. But that will not be us at the top of the division as we lose 42-24. Stafford throws 5 touchdowns against our secondary. Not a huge shock. I'm surprised more teams haven't done that. Kyler Murray with 1 touchdown. On the ground, no one broke 100 yards. And receiving, Cooper Kupp 10 for 140 and 3 scores. We're still not out of the race for the division here in week 14, but we probably can't afford to lose too many more games. And we don't lose this one. We win 32-31. Kyler Murray throws 3 touchdowns. Sam Darnold throws 2. Now he's the starting quarterback in Carolina again since we have Baker. Running the ball, looks like McCaffrey got a touchdown and Mixon. And receiving, CeeDee Lamb with 13 catches for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sterling Shepard got a touchdown. And Tommy Tremble got a touchdown. And like I said before the week 14 game, we really can't afford to lose too many games, so we've got to get by San Francisco. We come in with the number 1 offense in points per game and passing yards, and the number 30 defense in points per game. But we do drop this one to the 49ers, 35-28. Let's take a look at these stats. Trey Lance, 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray threw 2. Rushing, no one really did anything. And receiving, Deebo Samuel, 6 for 150 and 3 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown did get 124, and CeeDee Lamb did catch a touchdown. Our season isn't dead, but it's going to be hard to get by Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes may throw for 12 touchdowns against this secondary. And we drop our second game in a row, this one 42-24 to the Chiefs. Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray has one hell of a day. 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. Running the ball, Mixon ran in for a touchdown. And what about receiving? CeeDee Lamb 10 for 144 and a score, and Juju 5 for 127 and a touchdown. Well, somehow the Jets are 11-4, not real sure what the hell happened there, but we are 7-8 headed into week 17. We are not out of the race for the division, but we need to win here, I think. And we take down the Jets somehow 31-28. I don't know how that team is 11-4, but let's see what happened today. Zach Wilson, 2 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon doesn't really do much. We only ran the ball 12 times. And receiving, Sterling Shepard, 5 for 86. Hollywood Brown, 10 for 86. And CeeDee Lamb got a touchdown. And we are finally here at week 18. I definitely did not expect to be competing for a division title with this defense. But let's see if we can get by the Rams and somehow win a tiebreaker to get in. But sadly, our season will end in week 18. We lose this to the Rams 25-14. Let's take a look at these stats. Kyler Murray with 1 touchdown, Stafford with 2 and a pick. What about running the ball? No one could do anything. Mixon was completely bottled up, 16 for 34. Receiving, Cooper Kupp, 8 for 154 and 2 scores. And Sterling Shepard was our leading receiver. But before I end this video, let's go over the final season stats. Kyler Murray with 5,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Running the ball, Joe Mixon had 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. And receiving, CeeDee Lamb had 110 catches for 10 touchdowns. We had 4 people go over 1,000 yards. CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Sterling Shepard, and Mark Andrews all crossed 1,000. And now for the stats that I did not look at all season. Kenneth Murray leads the team in tackles with 118. In tackles for loss, that goes to Nick Bonito. In sacks, Obo got 9. Jordan Phillips got 7. Alright, so not as bad as I thought it would be. And interceptions, Trey Brown got 3. Kenneth Murray got 2. Tony Jefferson got 1. Nick Bonito, Brian Asamoah, and Buki Radley Hiles managed to intercept somebody. That's impressive. But that is going to wrap up this video. We finished as the first ranked offense in the league and the last ranked defense, which kind of describes Oklahoma the last few years. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time.